I saw this beautiful moment on the Ed Sheeran tour where Ed brought you out to sing a special song for your mom. And that was, it's nice how you kind of get me emotional all the way in Cape Town, South Africa when I saw that. That was,
I loved it. It's going to be until we're old men. I'm going to continue doing that for you. No, do you know what? It was such a special moment. I mean, me and Ed have been talking about doing a duet of a song for a while now. And it just made sense where we were in Tenerife. And also my mum was going to come visit and see the show anyway. So I kept it a secret. I don't know how I did, because she was just so buzzing to see me. She'd come to see me before I went on stage, and she's just so excited. And then after I performed, she came backstage again and she's buzzing. And oh my God, I can't believe it. Can we sit and have a drink and talk? And I was like, oh, like I just got to do some things. So like, if you go watch Ed for a little bit, I'll join you. And obviously I warmed up, got ready, joined Ed on stage, and her little face, man, it's just unbelievable. I mean, my mum's my little angel.
the single is so hot. I know you've been teasing it for a while, but there's just such a jump on this. There's a great energy to it as well. And I'd like to know a bit more about this particular angle, this side of Calum Scott, which is so unique and it's interesting. And I feel like the production's different as well. So correct me if I'm wrong, but there's something else about the song. There's a bounce to it. There's an electronic element to it as well that you brought into, which I'm enjoying. So tell me, what's changed? What did Ed do to you on tour, Calum? What's happening?
Everyone's commenting. I think there's a rumor going around that Ed wrote it with me, which he hasn't. That's a TBC in the diary. But I wanted to. I've been exploring sort of a new. I don't want to say era because I don't want to upset the Swifties, but I've been exploring this new side of me where I just feel like I'm becoming more of who I've always set out to be. You know, I've seen how the music has reacted on the first two albums, and writing this third album, I'm just being a little bit more. I don't want to say daring. I just want to say more confident. I'm exploring more sounds and I'm exploring more sides of myself. And, you know, I don't just consider myself the sad boy anymore. I mean, I'm still going to make people cry. That is 100% my goal. But because of the Lost Frequencies collab and Jax Jones and Kygo, like I've just identified that there's a side of me that I never knew I had. And probably didn't give myself credit for. The thing I love about Roots, I often talk about, you know, home and friends and family, but this one is kind of like it's a beautiful pop song, but really at its core, it is me talking about, you know, the people and the places that raised me, and kind of going back to those nostalgic moments that you just want to live in forever. I think, you know, one thing that you get as you get older is being able to look back and go, oh my God, those were such amazing moments. And, you know, there's like endless summer days where you just felt like, you know, when we used to have weeks off in the summer at school, you just felt like you had years just chilling. I used to go skateboarding, I used to go BMXing, we used to build tree houses. And all of that is like steeped in my mind, just full of like that nostalgia and that kind of epicness that when I performed this song, or when we were writing this song, that just all came flooding back. I feel like I've teased this for most of the time I've been on this planet. But my mission was to kind of inspire a little bit more kind of patience and excitement back into music. I was saying on stage the other day, I remember stood in line waiting to buy my Spice Girls CD. You know, so like I want to kind of create that little bit of buzz about music again, and it being like something that you have to aim for in the calendar rather than just being like, hey, I've dropped my album. And that works for people, and, you know, maybe that's something I'll go back to, but I kind of liked teasing, man. I kind of liked it.
The way we consume music is so different. And sometimes you don't even want to hear the whole song. As long as you got the chorus, you've got your TikTok sorted, then you're done. And I think that Roots, perhaps, and in what I'm hearing, we have to go back to the feeling of having something tangible in our hands and enjoying it. And even if it is our mobile and our streaming platform, like I still want to have that. When your song came out, I still had that excitement because you teased it.
What I've learned over the years is your fans stay with you because of your identity. And I think the last thing I want to do is go, oh, well, you know, now TikTok kind of rules everything. I'm just going to put out quick pop songs, because I have like the most amazing fans. And when I go to shows and perform, whether it's in South Africa, whether it's in Europe, whether it's in America, or even in the UK, like I see that people enjoy the plethora of songs that are there, you know, like Biblical and You Are the Reason and Dancing on My Own are arguably some of my biggest songs. But then people are also there for Where Are You Now and Whistle and Woke Up in Love. And it's like, people are showing to me that I mean, especially when I create a live show, I want to create something that takes you on a journey, you know, and that's the same with my albums. You know, we've written some beautiful stuff that I'll talk to you off air about. That is, you know, in my opinion, some of the best work I feel like I've ever done. And it's because I continue to work as an artist and not somebody that's just serving TikTok. That being said, I do realize I've been teasing it a lot, but I think it's because we live in a world now where if I don't kind of use these platforms in the way that people are consuming music, the way that they are consuming music, then I'm just going to get a little bit left behind. You know, it's almost like saying I'm not going to use any streaming platforms. I'm just going to sell physical. That's amazing, but there is a wave, you know, with this new generation that are just not going to do that. So I think for me, it's about diversing the way that diversing the ways that I am able to give music to people to consume, but holding true to myself. The one thing that I've always aimed for and always will is to serve my fans. If that's to hit them in the chest with a lyric that just makes them like, oh my God, and it's like speaks to them deeply, or whether they forget about their problems for 2.5, 3 minutes and dance the night away, like that is my purpose.
Another thing about Roots, that I feel like you created Roots as well, because this song would be super fun to perform too. And I think that's another thing. Like, this must be the best to perform. You dancing on stage, like you could dance on your own and then dance with other people. You could do that now with this song.
You know what? For some reason, I don't know where it's come from all of a sudden. I imagine maybe being on stages that Ed has allowed me to perform on where there are tens of thousands of people and it's all around you. Maybe that's kind of what's accelerated my confidence on stage. But for some reason, I'm doing this like kind of like elbowy shoulder dance at the minute. And I showed my mum, and my mum like wet herself laughing. She's just like, that I don't even dance like that. And I'm like, Mum, I know. I don't know where it's come from, but it's just something that I felt inside. And I was just like, what better time to do it? So now this has become like this weird kind of like thing that happens every time I perform Roots. There's this weird like shoulder elbow thing. So you'll see it, but exclusive, I have created a little piece of choreo for Roots. So I'm going to put it out in a few days, and who knows, like this could be me. I might just end up being a TikTok dancer now.
Why don't you just make TikToks, Calum? I don't know why. I mean, it's not enough to have a voice these days. I can't just work on radio and TV. No, you have to just anyway. So but I like that the shoulder thing with the elbows. That works for me. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna send you over my version of it once I see it. But naturally, I'm always so proud of you and for what you are doing, what you're achieving. I know where you come from the first interview to this one. It's been a journey, and just knowing you, I know for a fact that you stay so humble because of that purpose, serving your fans. When you're ready to return to South Africa, we'll be here waiting for you, ready with our shoulders and elbows to dance with you.
And I say it every time, Carl, I appreciate you. I appreciate KFM. I appreciate everybody in South Africa. You guys are so kind to me. I actually just got confirmation that I'm #1 on the iTunes chart in South Africa. So if that doesn't say what I'm feeling right now, I know. So I am just absolutely buzzing. I love all of you so much. I can't wait to come back. And when I do come back, what I can tell you is that my shows are going to be bigger than ever. That's all I'm going to say.
Calum Scott, an honor and a pleasure from KFM 94.5 family to you. Thanks for your time, and we'll catch you in Cape Town soon.
Thanks, Carl. Thank you, everybody.